Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me for today's training tutorial on how to use iMovie on your MacBook Air. This tutorial is designed for somebody who has no previous experience using iMovie. So to begin, we're going to click on Launchpad. You can search for iMovie if you don't see it. Otherwise, once you locate the iMovie app, I would suggest dragging it down into your dock for quick and easy access. Then you can go ahead and double click on the app to open it. Now, what you'll see here is a project landing page, and your existing iMovies will be shown here. If you're brand new to iMovie, you're just going to see this Create New square. So I want you to go ahead and click on that and then click on Movie. Now, when this opens for the very first time, what you're going to see here is sort of a three-part screen. You're going to see first import media. So that's the first section. This is where you're going to bring in your videos, your photos, and audio clips. This section over here on the right is where you can preview your media. So you'll notice a play button, which you can view here. And you can also tap on this button to view your videos in the progress that you're making in your iMovie in full screen. And then last but not least, this third section down here is your timeline. So this is where we're going to drag our media. This is where we're going to edit our clips, add transitions, titles, and our audio tracks. So you can think of iMovie in those three major sections. So to start importing your media, what I would suggest that you do before you start is to put your iMovie media in a folder on your desktop. So you can see here I have this iMovie folder. So it makes accessing the clips that you need for your iMovie really easy to access versus just keeping everything in your downloads. It can just get a little confusing. So I would recommend just creating that folder. And then once you're here, you're going to click on Import Media. You can see here I have desktop selected. So I'm going to go back. If you do put things in your downloads, you can click on your name, and you'll see you can double click on downloads and select what you need. However, if I click on desktop, you can see here I have iMovie. I double click on it, and it makes it a lot easier to select my different pieces of media that I want for my iMovie. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to hit Shift, and I can select all that media there. I'm just going to go ahead and select everything. I may not necessarily use every piece of media, but once I do that, you can see how easy it is to quickly add everything. So now I'm going to click on Import Selected. So I would suggest taking your videos also from a phone, because you're going to get the best video quality from smartphones. If you don't have a smartphone, you can use your iPad to take the video. So as you can see, I have all of my different clips right here, and I'm going to show you most things just from one clip, one thing that you can do. So when you click on a clip, you'll know it's selected by seeing this yellow box around it. Now you can hit the space bar and you can preview it on the right-hand side. When you want to stop the preview, you hit the space bar again. Now you can edit the clip right from within this first section. So if you know that you don't want this whole 1 minute clip, you can see this is 1.0 seconds, so it's a minute long. And if I want to, I can just drag this over and start to edit right from within this section. Personally, I like to bring my clips down into section 3 and do my editing there, but that is entirely up to you. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drag this down, and now it is in my timeline. This little button here that you see, it's very faint, but it has like a little triangle at the top. That's called the playhead. So when I start playing the clip, I hit the space bar and the clip starts playing. So this is me walking in to my yoga studio, and I'm going to show you most of the things that you'll need to know with iMovie just from this one clip. So I'm going to hit pause. Now, the first thing I'd like to point out is that you can hear audio in the background. You can hear like the birds chirping, and if I want to detach the audio, I can do that in one of two ways. So like, for example, if you're in the classroom and your students are talking, but you want to have music playing, you don't have to tell your students to quiet down. You can simply do one of two things to remove the audio. When the clip is selected, you can come up here to this volume button. This is usually one of the first things I do. If I know I don't want the audio, I can click on that button, that volume button, and I can just click mute audio. So the audio is still there, it's just muted. So when I play the clip, now you can no longer hear that background noise. Now, on the flip side, you may want to have that volume louder. So maybe it's your students doing a presentation and you need their voices to be louder. You can adjust the volume, you can increase the volume. So it depends on the purpose of your movie and the specific clip that you're using. Now, the other thing you can do if you want to remove the audio completely is with the clip selected, you can hit Control and then click on your trackpad. And you'll notice here right in the middle, it says Detach Audio. So it literally pulled that audio out of the clip. If I click on that audio and I start playing it, you can hear the audio. So then I can hit Delete. And then that audio is completely gone. Now, if I did something by mistake, whether it's detaching audio, maybe I'm going to show you how to split a clip in a moment. Anything that you do that you made a mistake and you need to undo a command, one of the greatest shortcut keys is Command Z. So if I hit Command Z, you'll see that audio reappears. So that goes for anything that you do. Command Z is going to undo. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Delete because I don't want that audio. The next thing I'm going to show you is when I start playing. Okay, so I'm going to head back up into these buttons here. So this first one is color balance. Honestly, I don't use this very often, but if you want to adjust the color, you can do so here. I would consider this getting a little bit advanced, and I typically don't use it. But if you needed to, say, adjust the white balance, it says select a color on the video frame using the eyedropper. Again, I don't really find myself using this. So we're just going to go ahead and move on to the next area where this is going to allow us to do some further editing. This is where we can adjust the contrast. So you'll notice that becomes darker or lighter. This is going to allow me to adjust, again, some color in the video clip itself. And again, I typically don't use this, but you do have the capabilities to really enhance the color in your video. Now, if you play around with this and you say, you know what, I like the original, it's fine. I'm going to just hit reset and it's going to go back to the original. So that is that button here. That's called color correction. It may or may not be useful to you. We're going to look at cropping in just a minute, but the next thing I want to show you is this button right here. I use this often. This is going to allow me to adjust the speed. So when I click on speed, you're going to see the default is normal. If I want to adjust that, I can make this in slow motion. I can speed it up, and you can freeze a particular frame in your video if you wanted to. I don't usually use this. And then you can make some custom adjustments. But I think what's built into iMovie is usually meets my needs. So I want to speed this up. And as soon as I hit fast, you'll notice I can speed this up 2, 4, 8, or 20 times the original speed. So I'm going to just go ahead and speed up the clip, make it 4 times as fast. Now, when you come down here in the timeline, you're going to see this little rabbit here indicating that I have I've made this clip a lot faster. If I slowed it down, I'm just going to show you really quick. If I slowed it down, you're going to see the little turtle. All right, so maybe your students are doing a science experiment and you wanted it to be in slow motion, you can do that. So you'll notice that that 1 minute clip is now 32.8 seconds. I want to make it even faster, so I'm going to go to 8 seconds. So that 1 minute walk into the yoga studio is now only 8 seconds. So I'm going to hit play, see how fast that goes. Walking in. There we go. All right, so I'm going to do Command Z a couple times, so because I want to show you a couple more things. So Last thing I want to show you before I start splitting the clip and doing a little bit more editing is here at the top. One last thing you can do is you can apply a filter. So you'll notice the clip filter says none. If I click on that, I have all these different filter effects that I can apply. So I can do, maybe I'm doing something on history and I want it in black and white. I can do comic vintage, that gives it a really cool effect. There's Western, romantic, there's aged film, blockbuster. So similar to when you apply effect to a photo, you can do the same thing with video clips, applying filters. Just going to leave that none. I'm just going to hit cancel. And then you can also have an audio effect. So if you added audio, which we'll do in a little bit, you can apply an audio effect as well. But I'm going to come back down here and I'm going to show you how to split a clip. So maybe I want my video to start to slow down right about here. So I'm going to put my playhead right here and I'm going to hit Control. Now I'm going to use split clip. I use this real often. So I'm going to apply the speed. I'm going to speed this portion up. So I'm going to bring my playhead back to the beginning. I'm going to hit play. Walking in. And now it's going to slow down right here where those flags are. So I'm going to hit the space bar again and to stop it. And then I'm going to split the clip right here. Now, if you didn't need this video, you could delete it entirely. So keep that in mind. Maybe it's footage that you don't need and just delete it. If I need that back, Command Z, it brings it back. So this is slowed down. I'm going to go back to my speed. I want this just to be a normal speed. I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to make this a little bit faster. So now I want to see how that's looking so far. I drag it over, slows down so you can focus in on the flags, the name of the studio. And now I'm going to show you where I can cut. So I'm going to freeze the clip, press the space bar, and to edit, I'm just going to drag this over here. And then I'm going to start it right here. So I'm going to hit play, slows down. And I want to speed this back up. I'm going to do this 8. So now you can see how short the movies has become. And then I walk in. So if I want to add a few more clips, I'm going to bring this down here. I'm going to apply a filter, that the comic vintage on this. Play it through. I'm going to eliminate that audio. Just to review, I can just mute the audio. And I'll add this clip here. I'm going to mute the audio on this clip. And then I'll add one final clip here. And that's me actually doing some of my yoga. All right, so now I've got my clips. I'm going to just drag this timeline over here a bit. And I just want to point out this button here that says settings. If I needed to do some really precise editing, you can increase this settings here so that you can get really precise in terms of where you want to crop things, where you want to move things. So maybe I want this to be a little bit more precise. I want it to start right here. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes it's almost like stretching out the project. So typically I leave it at the default, but there are times when I have to increase it if I want to do some more precise editing. I'm going to just add this last clip right here of the studio and the logo. And then on this clip, I'm going to select it and I'm going to go back to cropping because I skipped this earlier, but I want to show you what cropping would do. So we have 3 options in cropping, and you'll find yourself using this a lot as well. We have fit, which is going to fit the full width and height of the clip. Crop to fill is going to allow you to maybe crop some things out. So if I don't want the name of the studio at the bottom there, I can drag these handles and position it like so, or I can do what's called Ken Burns. So that's kind of giving it like a pan effect, kind of like a slow motion pan and zoom effect. So I can position the start or in the end, and then I can also, right here, it says swap the start and the end. So maybe I want it to end there. I want it to start here. Maybe I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see the humble warrior. And then I do need to hit the check mark to apply that crop adjustment. These 2 buttons will allow me to rotate the clip counterclockwise or clockwise. So that's what those buttons mean there. And then I can hit the apply. Then I can preview what that clip looks like. So I'm going to drag my playhead over. So fun. I'll send it to you. All right. I'm going to remove that audio because I can hear some audio in the background. So I'm going to hit play. And you can see it kind of zooms in a little bit. So you can do that also with still photos. So if you drag in a photo and you want to apply that Ken Burns effect, you can go ahead and do that. So the next thing I want to show you, split you, so you know how to speed clips up, slow them down, you know how to split the clips, and again, editing a clip, like if I'm playing this, I'm going to eliminate this audio right here. I'm going to mute that audio. If I wanted to decrease the length of the clip, I just simply drag it like that. So that's how you edit clips out. It's just dragging to either the right or the left. Really, really simple. So next I'm going to show you how to add transitions. And this is how I build a movie. I usually put my clips in, I do my edits, which is going to take most of your time. Most of your time is going to be spent editing the clips. Then from there, you can click on transitions. And I like to use the same transition in between my clips. You don't have to use a transition in between clips at all. So if you play it and you like how it looks with just like a hard cut, there was nothing in between these clips, you don't have to add them. But if you want, and you want to see how it looks, you just click on the transition that you want and you drag it down. When you click on this twice, you're going to see you can change the duration. So I could make this, I'm not going to make it 21 seconds. I could make it 2.0 and then hit either apply or apply to all. So that means every transition that goes in is going to be 2 seconds. There's a bit of trial and error here to see how it looks. And there was that transition. That really didn't look that great. So if I don't like it, I can just hit delete. So I'm going to come back. I am going to add that one more time. I'm going to just keep it at 1.1 second. So when I hit play, maybe I'll add one here. You don't, but I'm just showing you how simple it is to add transitions. You can use different transitions. There's some really nice ones. You know, if I wanted to use cube, see how does the cube look? And that plays, kind of twists it. So it's up to you in terms of which transitions you want to use, but that's how simple it is to add your transitions. And there's a wide variety of transitions that you can use. Next thing I'd like to show you is how to add titles. So when I click on titles, I have a huge selection of titles as well. So it's up to you if you want to put a title on top of a clip, you can go ahead and do that. So I'm going to use this organic mane. I just drag it down. And when I click on it, I can say, I'm going to double click and say, welcome yogis. Now you'll notice right here, I have font and there's a drop down menu and I have a really large selection of fonts. So you can feel free to change the font to coincide with the topic of your movie. You can also bold it. You can also change the color. So if I click on this white box, white is the default color. This color wheel opens over here and I can change the color. Maybe I want to make it yellow, but I think just for the purpose of this demo, I am going to keep it, I'm going to keep it white. And then whatever changes I make, I do need to click on this blue check mark so it will apply the title adjustments. Now, when I come back into the timeline and I hit play, you're going to see Welcome Yogis comes up here. If I want it to just play on that very opening clip, all I have to do is drag the title over so it's just here. Bring my playhead over. Now that was so fast that you can't see it, so I'm going to have to bring that out more. So you can just go ahead and adjust your titles. If I wanted to, I would probably keep this for the whole duration of that opening 2 clips. All right, looks good. Now, say you wanted to have your title on a background instead. So I'm going to show you backgrounds next. So when I click on backgrounds, the top category gives me some various maps that I can use for a background, which is perfect for social studies, obviously. But then I have all of these other backgrounds here. So I'm just going to use stars. So I can drag this and I can put it at the very beginning. Then I could just move my title to be here. And I can see how that looks instead. So I drag my playhead over to the beginning, I hit play, and maybe I just want it there instead. I can go back to transitions. I can add that cross blur transition and see how that looks. So one of the reasons I love iMovie is I get to be creative, and it's really fun actually to build a movie. And the more you use it, the better you get at it, the more practice you have, and you can really do some creative things. So this is looking pretty good. I am going to add one more title here at the end, just so you can see. I'm going to add Boogie Lights to the logo. I'm going to say find your magic. I'm actually going to change this font to chalk duster, and I'm going to change this color to a shade of pink, and I'm going to hit the check mark. Then I'm going to see how that looks. I'm going to just drag this a bit to be the full length of that clip. I'm going to add a transition in between these 2 clips. So hopefully you're feeling good about transitions and titles. So when I hit play, nice. I like how that looks. All right. And then one final thing, I'm going to add one final background. Just close my color wheel here. I'm going to add a background, and I'm going to add one last title, the pixie dust. I'm going to just write humble warrior yoga. And I'm going to show you how to add a like and subscribe button, because I'd like to encourage you to upload your videos to YouTube, especially if you're doing this with your students. and encourage them to like and subscribe to your YouTube channel. So, and again, that's totally optional, but I'm going to add one last transition in between these two last clips. And now we're really going to enhance the movie by adding some music. So I'm going to go to a great site that I found. It's called youtube.com/audio library. So again, that's youtube.com/audio library. And there is a huge selection of free music that you can instantly download and then import into your iMovie projects. What's great about this YouTube library of music is that you can filter your search by genre, and there is a children's category. So when I click on children's and I hit apply, I can get all these great songs that are royalty free. I'm not violating any type of copyright issues. My video isn't going to get flagged or taken down because I'm using a copyrighted song. So I highly recommend checking out youtube.com/audio library. So this is a video about yoga. So I'm going to go to genre and I'm going to go to ambient, hit apply. The other thing you can do is you can search for either attribution not required or attribution required. What that means is at the end of your video, you would want to add a title and put the name of the track and the artist, which means you're giving them attribution. You are recognizing where this music came from. But if I hit attribution not required, that means I don't have to do that. It's completely free to use this music. So it just might be good practice for you to give a credit. It's up to you, but you can be rest assured that you're not doing any type of copyright infringement. So I've already previewed this song Beyond. So I'm going to hit download. You can see it goes right here into my downloads. Then I can just drag this window over here. Once it's downloaded, all I have to do is just drag it right into my timeline. So I don't have to worry about importing anything. It's right there. So then when I come over here, hit play. It starts playing. So a couple things with audio, if you want to make some adjustments, I can take this little button right here and I can drag this in so it has like a fade in effect. See how that sounds. So you can experiment with how it sounds. The other thing you can do is you can drag the volume down. So if I click right here, it's at 100%, but I can drag it down. And you can see once it becomes yellow and red in that audio track, that means it's really loud. So you want to avoid that. You don't want to see the red and the yellow. So I'm going to just keep this at 100, and then I'm going to come to the end. Now this is a case where I might want to shrink my whole project because I want to see the end of that song. So I just drag this over a bit, and I want the song to end when the video ends. So I'm just going to drag this over. Now it's lined up perfectly. I'm going to fade it out at the end like so. Maybe drag it down a little bit. All right, and you can hear how it faded out. So that sounded really good. So I have my audio track here. Now, the other thing I might want to add is my voice. So maybe I'm doing a back to school video for the parents of my students, or an end of the year video coming up to celebrate accomplishments and showcase what has happened in the classroom. So whatever the case may be, if you want to add audio narration, you're going to hit this microphone here. This is your recording a voiceover. So I'm going to click on that. Whoops, I have to select a clip. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to make sure a clip is selected, and I'm going to click on my voice recorder. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. We have to make sure our audio track is selected. So you're going to select an audio track. We hit the voice recorder, and then you're going to see this red button here. It's going to count you down, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Humble Warrior Yoga, located in Manchester, New Hampshire. Come check out all that this studio has to offer. Flow, power, and restorative yoga can help heal your body, mind, and spirit. I hit the space bar to stop that video, or excuse me, that audio. Then when I play it back, welcome to Humble Warrior Yoga, located in Manchester, New Hampshire. Come check out all that this studio has to offer. So I paused there for a second so you can see the audio track right here, how there's a pause right here. So you can get pretty sophisticated. I could split that clip that this studio has. So then I can click right here and I can just pull that over. And now I can play it. Check out all that this studio has to offer. So I eliminated that pause. Yoga can help heal your body, mind, and spirit. So you'll notice too that the background music or the audio file here from YouTube actually got quieter automatically. So it's up to you if you wanted to further adjust the volume of your audio track, you can do that by just dragging up or down. And then the same with your voice. When you click on your audio track, you can increase your volume of your voice, or you can just leave it at the default of 100%. So that's how you would add your audio narration. Welcome to Humble Warrior Yoga. And then if you wanted to add additional audio here, I'll show that one more time. I'm going to position my playhead right here. Find your magic at Humble Warrior Yoga. Check us out on YouTube and like and subscribe. I hit pause. I can drag this over, line it right up. Find your magic at Humble Warrior Yoga. Check us out on YouTube and like and subscribe. All right, so looks pretty good. And I'm going to show you one last thing that's somewhat advanced, I would say. But if you wanted to add that animated like and subscribe button, I'm going to go into my media one more time. And actually, I'm going to click on this button here. I'm going to go back to my desktop, and I'm going to share these with you in the comments, or I'm going to make sure you get these too. These are subscribe YouTube buttons, and I'm going to show you how to use the green screen effect. So I'm going to click on this one. The like and subscribe button is going to be at the bottom center, and I'm going to click import selected. Okay, so here's my like and subscribe button. So I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to position it on top of this clip, so you can see that like and subscribe button. So what I'm going to do next is this button here now appears, which you haven't seen yet until just now. These are our video overlay settings. So when I click on this, there are 4 different ones. Cutaway, which is basically just like a hard cut. Personally, I don't see a huge advantage of the cutaway, but what I want to show you here is the green blue screen. So when I click on that, you can see I'm just going to make this line up like so. And then when I press play, yoga, check us out on YouTube and like and subscribe. All right, so I got to make a couple adjustments here. Number one, I'm going to make the music go all the way to the end. I'm going to move my voice over. So you can see there's a lot of dragging and dropping. I'm going to fade that out here. Now these should all be lined up. Find your magic at Humble Warrior Yoga. Check us out on YouTube and like and subscribe. And then if you want to add one final transition, you could fade to black at the very end. Check us out on YouTube and like and subscribe. and then it fades out. So that is a really neat and relatively easy way to add a green screen effect with that YouTube like and subscribe button. Another effect you can do that is pretty common is the split screen. So you can do that with photos, you can do that with videos. So let's see, if I wanted to, I'm just going to use this same video clip right here. If I put this one on top, let's say you had two different shots of students or videos of students, you can go to that video overlay and you can do split screen. So now I'm side by side. You can position them either left or right, top or bottom, and they would be different video clips, but in this example, it's the same clip, but I'm just showing you how you can do a split screen. And then you hit the check mark to apply the effect. So I don't need that, but I just wanted to show you how easy it is to do that split screen. So when you're ready to preview the whole thing from the top, you can hit that space bar. I'm going to hit done right here. Welcome to Humble Warrior Yoga, located in Manchester, New Hampshire. Come check out all that this studio has to offer. Flow, power, and restorative yoga can help heal your body, mind, and spirit. So again, what you've seen here today, hopefully, is a tutorial that gives you the confidence to add video clips. Again, you can do the same exact things that I've shown you with still photos. These are photos, so if I wanted to just drag a photo down, I can do that. This might be an instance where I want to do crop to fill, or I would just do fit. Now you can see I have the black bars on either side. So when you're taking photos or videos for that matter, definitely hold your phone this way when you're horizontally and not vertically, because you will get those black bars. And amateur mistake that I made myself when I first started using iMovie, but over the years, I think that I've developed a lot of skill just from practice. So I would encourage you to do the same. Just practice. You know how to add the clips. You know how to add audio. One thing I wanted to mention too with audio that I forgot was if I click on audio, I can have sound effects. And iMovie has a huge collection of sound effects. So if you're doing, say, like a news broadcast with your students, they have all these different broadcast sounds. They have different sound effects for virtually any subject area that you could possibly think of. But definitely take some time to explore all these different sound effects. They also categorize the sound effects in these different folders here you can see, which makes it easy to find and is a time saver for sure. And then last but not least, if you did want to have a theme, if you click on window, you can go to theme chooser. And they do have different themes. So they have two different newscast themes. They have neon, which is kind of like a beachy, kind of electric looking type theme. Photo album, playful, and scrapbook. Those might be great for sort of an end of the year video if you want to try this for the first time. If you're doing something with social studies, they have a great travel theme. So you would just hit change, and then it would apply that theme to your movie, and you would have various transitions to choose from. In the transition section, you'll get more transitions that are applicable to that theme. But again, if it's your first time, I would just encourage you to experiment without a theme and create something from scratch. And when you are ready to save it, you're going to click on this projects button here. You'll be prompted to give it a name. So I'm going to just say iMovie tutorial, and then I'm going to click OK. And there it is. And when I click on these three dots, now it's in my project library. When I click on these three dots, I'm going to hit Share Project, and I would recommend File. So you're going to choose File. You can change the name, give it a description, add some tags if you'd like. I would keep the resolution and the quality and the compress settings all as the default. Then you'll click Next, and it's going to save it. You can tell it exactly where to save it. And I would put it in your iMovie folder. You click Save. It's going to put it in your iMovie folder, and then from there you can open up YouTube and you can save it to YouTube. You can upload it to YouTube. You can make it unlisted, or if you want your students to like and subscribe to your channel, if this is something you plan to do more often, and I hope you do, you can make it public so that parents and students can easily find it. So I really hope that this tutorial has been helpful to you. I hope you have stopped it and rewinded it and watched things over again and have built alongside me. There is trial and error, but I think it's all worth it. iMovie is really a lot of fun, and the more you use it, the better you're going to get at it. If you have any questions at all, and if you'd like to do a one-on-one session with me, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'd love to see your completed iMovie projects, so feel free to share them with me. And thank you very, very much for watching, and feel free to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can be notified anytime I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching.